Hello, and welcome to the Venue Coach Blueprint for Owners. I'm Kyle Labar. This podcast is all about helping you fill your wedding venue with more bookings, earn more from each one, and keep your customers happy for a long time. We'll also talk about some tough times and big lessons that I've learned along the way. Let's dive in together and make your venue the best spot for weddings. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Venue Coach. This is Kyle, your host. I'm one of the owners of two venues in the Dallas market that we've taken from doing about 4 bookings a month to 9 on average at both locations. And so I want to help you get more bookings too. So today's topic, I wanted to actually talk about email automations or emails going out after inquiries. So inquiries that you get coming in, whether that's to tour, whether they have a question, just your contact form, what's working, what we're seeing, and that sort of thing. So first of all, speed is king, but personalization and speed combined are a better paired combination for you to work better. So we see a lot of emails that go unanswered. First of all, so you're losing. If you are not answering your emails at all, then you are losing business. And I can say that with very, very high confidence, like 100%, you're losing business. So first of all, if that's you and you're not responding to people, then start responding to people and you will get more business. That is a fact. Next, if you are taking forever to respond, then that's the next worst. And if you're taking forever to respond with automation, maybe you set up your automation wrong and you need to take a look at that. But the difference between automation and personalized, that's what I want to talk about. So I'm talking to the people that know they need to respond fast and they're letting it all rest in the hands of automation and hoping that that gets them more business, which it does. It's better than a no response, but you're not really engaging with, and pun intended, you're not really engaging with the couples when they fill out the form. What you're doing is just checking a box and saying, hey, I've reached out to you. And so rather, what we've seen be a bit more successful is both speed and personalization, where you actually, and there's nothing wrong with sending out automation, but the idea is to get them to engage in a conversation. So for instance, in an email, that instead of just saying, hey, we have all these great features and this is why you should consider us, like they've already considered you, dude. Like they've already considered you. That's why they're filling out the form. That's why they're giving you their information in a contact form. They're already considering you. They like what they saw online. They liked what they saw on your website. Maybe they like some reviews, and they just want to start talking with you. The couples they've never done this before. They don't know what they're doing. And so it's on you. You're the professional. So um, what I'd like to see and what I'm seeing be very, very helpful in getting more engaged prospects, again, pun intended. Just assume that I intend all of my puns, by the way. So if it has anything to do with the marriage industry and I say something that sounds like it could be a pun, it's intentional. I mean my puns. Anyways, sorry, that was random. But the point that I'm making here is if somebody is filling out a form and they say that their date is June 15th or whatever, it doesn't matter. And your automation goes out, and obviously it's not going to capture that that's what they're looking for. So you still need to be on top of it and say, hey, I saw that you're looking at June 15th. Our calendar shows that it's available. Let's get you out for a tour. So remember, what's the point? What's the point of your contact form? It's to get their information. Okay, now you have their information. What's the point? What's next? And the next point is to get them out for a tour. So if your communication is not leading them to that tour, then you're missing the mark. And you might say, well, my automation says, hey, if you want to come tour, blah blah blah. Yeah, but if you're not answering their initial question, they aren't like we get emails that say, hey, before I come out to tour, I just want to check on the price, or I want to check on what's available, or I want to check on this, or blah 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 blah, because they don't want to waste a trip to your venue if it's not going to work. If it doesn't fit their budget, if it doesn't fit the day that they just really have to have that sort of thing, then they don't want to waste a trip. So yeah, okay, cool. Your automation says come out for a tour. Great. They still need an answer to their question. So that's why personalized and prompt is better than automated and prompt, because the automated can go out in an instant. That's cool. But what you do after that matters. So it just be more responsive. Actually show that you care about these people. Like, if you can't show up for a freaking email, then how are you going to show up on the tour? And how are you going to show up for them while they're planning? And how are you going to show up for them on the big day if you can't even show up for an email? So it's just such a silly excuse, a silly cop out. Oh, I have automations going out. Cool, great. So what? And actually, I've seen some automations that go out like hours, hours later. You need to check your settings on those first of all. Like if you have an automated message that's going out hours after the fact, like you need to update that. It should be instant, within a minute, within seconds. Like seriously. I'm going on a rant here because it's this important. Don't like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've seen automated messages that take like 12 hours. Like you can't even be bothered to set up your automated emails to go out promptly. Like it's automated. So, and then you can't be bothered to look at the questions that they have, these poor young couples that have no idea what they're doing. They're turning to you for help. They're interested in you. They're interested in giving you thousands of dollars, and you can't bother to respond to their email with a little personalization. Like, come on. It's this isn't rocket science. So, anyways, I didn't mean for this to be a rant, but I guess it's becoming one. All that to say, all I'm trying to get at is the faster you respond and the more personally you respond to the web forms that come in, the people that are asking, the inquiries, the contact forms, whatever you call it, the more likely you are to get a booking because you're going to impress them with your communication. They care about that. It's weird how people care about good communication. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. I've just been underwhelmed, like hilariously underwhelmed by the either sheer lack of response or just the time it takes for anybody to get back to these couples. It's just insane. Like days sometimes. It can take days. Like you've already lost the sale. Because if they're reaching out especially to get some quick information before scheduling a tour, on average we're seeing couples book within 5 days of doing a tour. Like they set up their tours, 5 days later they're picking one. So if you're taking 3 days to respond, you probably aren't going to even get a tour because they're already done with them. You know, it could be that fast. Or you might get lucky, and that's like the only reason why you're still in business is because you're lucky on getting those tours. And yeah, we got to get better. As a whole, the industry needs to get better. Like, act like you give a damn. Uh, you know, like, that's it. So, anyways, rant over and scene. So if you found this useful, if this motivates you with any ounce of anything to be better at your communication, I count that as a win. And I hope that this was useful for you. If you're already responding personally within minutes, barring like a tour or an event that's already going on, obviously, or you're asleep, of course. But normal business hours when you are not like actively working with another client, that you should be responding within minutes. And if you're already doing that, then and I know that there are a few out there, but guess what? There's a strong correlation. Those few that are already doing that, I bet you they're killing it. I bet you they're killing it and that they're getting tons of bookings because that's the strong correlation. So if that's you, then kudos to you. I am so glad that you're doing that, and it probably shows in how you show up for them in other ways. You probably have a higher um, rating on Google. Like you're probably in the 4.8, 4.9 range on your overall ratings and reviews on Google, and that shows because how you show up in one place is how you show up everywhere else. I'm serious. So, anyways, if you found this useful, if this motivates you to be better at your communication and more prompt and more personal, then let me know in the comments. Please subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you there.